I'm Jan, and welcome to Hoop It Up with Jan. This is my first Flosstube, and if I said anything other than that I'm nervous, I'd be lying. It's a wonder how I can be in a room full of people and not afraid to say a word, but you put me in a room by myself with the camera, and for some reason it makes me nervous. So I've been thinking about doing a Flosstube for quite a while now and been nervous about it, and finally I just decided that get going, get it done, and get this first one put behind me, and hopefully after that it'll be a little more natural. So hopefully I'm not too nervous and can give you some good content. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a wife. I've been married, it'll be 44 years in October, and I have 2 sons. They're adults with their own families. I have 3 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. So love my grandkids, love my kids, and they're a big part of my life. They live right here. They're my neighbors, so I get to see them. Oh, sorry, I kicked the camera. I get to see them all the time, so that makes me real happy. I have been cross-stitching since about in the 80s, 90s. When my kids were little, I'd stay up late, cross-stitch, go to bed late, get up in the morning, go to work, all the stuff, just to have some time to myself to do something I loved after the kids went to bed. So then early 2000s, I guess, I saw my stitching store, my LNS was starting to carry quilt fabric, and I saw them post a class for beginners, and so I was interested in that, so I took that class, and the cross-stitching kind of got put aside and quilting took over. And as a matter of fact, the quilt behind me, a good friend of mine made for me for my birthday. It's a sloth, and it pretty much represents about the speed that I move in. Unless I'm stitching, then I can go pretty fast, but I move kind of slow. But then I've got the ones on the side, and the ones up there are ones that I've made in the past, and eventually we'll probably get into my quilting, but for now we'll stick with the cross stitch. I thought I would give you a WIP parade. I almost said quilt parade. I thought I'd give you a WIP parade today, show you the kinds of stuff that I like to stitch, which is pretty much anything. I do samplers, smalls, I like some full coverages, dimensions kits. I like to stitch pretty much everything. So if you'll go grab you a refreshment and have a seat, I'll get my WIPs together. Alrighty, let's get going. So I'll start with the one that is currently in my hoop. It's out of the Celebrate book by Teresa Kogut, and I think you'll find that I have a little bit of a pattern with her charts. She's one of my very favorite designers, and I just love her stuff. I love her color palette and her subject matter. This is a book that she published quite a while ago. I don't have a picture to show you of the particular chart I'm working on, but it's almost done, so you'll be able to have a good representation of what it looks like. So it's a snowman, and I'm stitching this on 10 count Tula, 1/1, but I'm using the called for colors. However, I'm using the pearl cotton instead of the stranded floss. So I think he's kind of unique in that he kind of has fall colors yet is a snowman. So I did change the colors in that bird. The bird was the same color as his nose, and I thought that bird needed to be a little more red, like a cardinal. So I should be wrapping this one up before long, and I think I'm going to make a pillow, possibly like a throw pillow size. And here's the pearl cottons. They're the number 5 pearl cotton, and it's been a real fun stitching with making those chunky stitches. You can really see your stitches in that, so it's a lot of fun. So that's the Snowman by Teresa Kogut. I'm not going to have any order to this because I've just got a basket down here with all my WIPs in it, and so I'm just going to take one at a time and show them to you. So this one is, not sure how to say this, but I think it's Verlandi sampler. It's out of the, it's on the CD from the Antique Samplers magazine. There's a CD that you can buy on Amazon that has a whole lot of antique sampler magazines, and this is in that magazine. I don't know what issue it's in, but I could put that in the notes, in the show notes. I'm using the called for NPIs, and it's being stitched on 40 count Tabby Cat cream brulee. I love the way it's turning out. I love that mottled of the fabric, and then the brown. It's kind of like, the color is kind of like comparative to DMC. I think it's 3371, but it is the NPI silk. And I got a long ways to go on that one. And I'll show you the silks. Most of it's this color here. Where's the color number? Color 588. There you go. And then also color number 757. There's just a little bit of this in there, just for not much. Most of it's pretty monochromatic. So this is my first project to use NPI silks, and they are nice. Okay. Like I said, I like to stitch all kinds of stuff. And this one is not a full coverage, but it's a monochromatic. It's designed by Stitching Jewels Design. It's called Horses in the Surf. It's all done with black, one color. I'm using sulky 12 weight black on 25 count easy grid Lugana. Make sure I got it going the right direction. 1/1 full cross. So you can kind of see the first horse's head coming in there. I think this one's going to be real fun to watch the image develop. So that's Horses in the Surf by Stitching Jewel Designs. You can get hers on Etsy. Her Etsy store is that same name, Stitching Jewels Designs. This one is a kit by Andriana, the owl. I tend to really like big projects with lots of detail. Let's see, there you go. And those eyes and the feathers just, I think, are beautiful. I just recently started this one. My friend Angela enabled me on this one. She posted it on Instagram, and I'll put her Instagram handle down below so that you could go check out. She's almost finished. She only has a few more of those feathers. But here's where I'm at. This is right below his beak. And I'm using I think it's 16 count Ada. It's the kit fabric. And I'm using the kit floss. I have a little owl needle minder. He's called the Owl. Here's another big one. This is called Back in Time. Should have taken these so you could see these pictures better. By Ronnie Rowe Designs. I think that is so cool looking how the cars are transparent kind of, and you can see through them to the houses. And I am stitching this on, I think it's 46 count antique white. I've kind of got that first car coming in there. This is fun to stitch, very confetti heavy. Yes, I love stitching on stuff with lots of detail like that. I'm using all the called for DMC on that one. I made this project bag. Got that fabric from Hobby Lobby. I believe this was one of the first ones I made. I made up my own pattern. This one is a Dimensions Santa's Truck Stocking. This is for my husband. It is on 14 count ivory Aida, and I'm using all the called for DMC. No, I'm using the kit floss. I'm getting pretty close on this one. My husband's name is Delbert. Just got to do some gifts right up in here. And get so cute. I've got most of on the parts that are done, I believe I have the back stitching done. I just have to go back through and double check. Santa's Truck Stocking by Dimensions. Here's another bag I made. Had to make a big one. This is faux alligator vinyl. And this has a pocket, a clear pocket, sparkly. I started to sell my bags for a while, and then I was like, this is taking too much time away from my stitching, so who knows, when I can retire, maybe someday I'll have to supplement, but right now I'm just enjoying my stitching. So that's the inside. This is the Last Supper. It's a Janwin kit. It's being stitched on 14 count Aida kit floss, but it is DMC. Here's where I'm at so far. Trying to do the back stitching as I go. I don't want to get to the end and then have to dread working on it. That's the Last Supper. Enjoy working on this one. It's just a Amazon bag. Everything's tangled up in this one. Okay, this is a Meaghan kit. It's a Santa in the chimney. It's one of those where you cut around and back it. So I've Got some beads done and working my way up. It's a lot of fun. I like the Mill Hill kits. I don't like sorting the thread out, but what I'll do is get out my DMC because they do use DMC. It has the DMC numbers, so I'll just pull it out and compare and pull my thread like that, and I use, looks like a hot mess, but I use these and I put the DMC number on there. Here's one of my favorites. This is a Teresa Kogut. One of her angels. In command. You want to talk about some confetti in those eyes. Oh my gosh. The colors in those eyes. Look at those eyes. The purples and the blues, and so pretty. So pretty. All the color. Oh, this is 36 count river gun. No, river gun by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm using all the called for DMC. It's lots of colors. Sorry, Nancy. My floss needs to be reined in. You know, you watch people on their floss tubes and they're putting everything away, and you know, you have to do that because otherwise I can see where you wind up with the big old mess at the end of it. And by the way, we're not counting because I don't want to know. Oh, my pattern. Sorry if I'm leaning out of frame and got everything right here. Okay. This one is called Stitch in the Garden by Hands on Design. It's a little tray with a mattress pin keep and a scissor fob. And these little buttons come, I don't know if they came with it or if I bought the buttons. I don't remember. But I'm using the called for floss. And I'm stitching this on 32 count white linen. So there's the top. The right there in the where the tomato goes. There's a little piece of felt that came with the kit that goes there. And you applique that on. So I haven't put that on yet, but that part I think is finished except for the initials, because I haven't decided if I'm giving this as a gift or if I'm gonna put my initials on it. And then that's the outside of the mattress. I haven't started the little tray yet or the scissor fob. Sorry if I'm shaky, it's hard to hold that stuff up straight and still. Next, who's next? Another meal hill. This one is Latte. I love coffee. I love foo-foo coffee. I don't like regular coffee. I like it with all the stuff in it. I have this one in a little small bag I made out of Teresa Kogut, some out of print fabric I found on eBay of hers. Got a pocket that has like holographic vinyl, and then just a red lining. This one I'm just using the kit materials. Still got a long ways to go on that one. Sorry for the light coming in the window there, shining on everything. Turn down my phone. That's a latte. It's one of the Pet Quarter Shop bags. Oh, this one doesn't have much on it at all. It's Cinnamon Stars, Plum Street samplers. I was stitching this with Gina from this, she is Slamming the Screen Door on Instagram, and then my friend Laura, who's Abigail House on Instagram. And I'm not sure how far they are, but I'm not very far. I've just got these stars, and I'm just stitching from stash as I go. And this is being stitched on, do I know what this is being stitched on? Aged Paper by Fox and Rabbit, I think. No, I don't know for sure what this is being stitched on. I'm not sure. I thought I had it written down, but oh, I do. That's a 40 count Dirty Road by Seraphim. And like I said, I am just picking, I don't even know which way this goes. No clue. I think it goes like that. Oh, that's Dirty Road by Seraphim. 40 count. another one of my bags that's using that holographic got butterflies on the back. This is and Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick. So pretty. I am stitching this on 40 count espresso. I think it's R&R. Something to put behind it. And stitching this. This is the first project I've used Vicki Clayton, a conversion by Vicki Clayton silks, and they are amazing. They have such a beautiful sheen, and the way they're twisted is you can see every single stitch, and they're just, everything comes out so nice and even. I really like how they look. That deer is going to be a beast. So yeah, that's in Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick on 40 count espresso using a Vicki Clayton silks conversion. I have my silks in this little box. It's a little photo box. They're a mess, but she's really easy to work with and so responsive when you need something. And she has a conversion chart on her website that makes it very easy to convert her silks to anything, any other flosses, DMC and fancy floss. This is a friend of mine made this for me. This is by the Abigail House. She's on Instagram. You should follow her because she's working on some really cute stuff that she is planning on making and selling. Some pouches, and her sewing is beyond professional. This is the Alpaca Farm by the Blue Flower. Little drum. Yeah, stickers in the way to see what it all looks like. It's got a little kid there swinging, and then the alpacas. I thought it was just so cute. I have my daughter-in-law loves llamas, so I thought that was the closest thing to a llama. They didn't have a llama farm. That's where I'm at. I'm stitching it. Well, I'm not very organized. I'm stitching it on 40 count Arial by Picture This Plus 1/2. Most of the cod floor, but I am subbing out some things from stash that I didn't have. He's so cute. Hope I'm holding these up long enough. Having a little issue with my arm. I fell not too long ago, a few months ago, and just having some, still having a little problem with it. I had to have some surgery on it, so holding it up for too long is a little painful, but that's okay. I'll live. Put this all in there. Oh, I know it goes in there because I got it out of there. The next one, another stocking. This is called Christmas Miracle Stocking by Latte Stitch. It's a kit. There we go. I've been wanting to do a lot of stockings, and instead of, on some of them, instead of actually putting someone's name, put like a word related to Christmas. So like put magical here maybe, or miracle. I just thought that Santa was very interesting. It's being unstitched on 14 count Aida using all the kit materials. Sorry, it's all wrinkly. Fold that down. Go this way. That's where I'm at so far. You can see that bear down at the bottom and the doll. See Santa's hands coming in here. This one's a lot of fun. What I love about stitching this kind of stuff is watching the different elements come to life. And the Latte Stitch comes on these, the floss comes on these kind of cards. They have holes in them where you can put your extra at the bottom. It's a nice kit. I'm 34 minutes in. Maybe this won't be, maybe I don't have as much as I thought I did. We still got quite a few to go though. Next is a Dimensions Petite. It's the wolf. His eyes are just like, so pretty. Using, this one is on 18 count Aida, using the kit materials. But quite a bit done on this one. So pretty. Next, these are the Fragments in Time by Summerhouse Stitchworks for 2023. I think she releases, I think maybe there's 12 a year, something like that. But I bought the first 4. I plan on doing them all. This is the current one I'm working on. That's number 1. I didn't do them in order. That's number 2. Number 3, I have this one finished. I have it in this bag, I'll show you. Oh, I need to do some back stitching on this yet. And this is number 4. I've completed this, but I gifted it to a very dear friend of mine. I'm stitching this on 32 count Amazing Gray with the called for flosses. Here's the one that, see, I cut out where I did the one and gave it as a gift. Here's the swan. There's some back stitching in some of these cattails that I still need to do. And where I bought them, they had the models. They were little pillows. Oh, so pretty. So I thought it'd be very cute to have all those little pillows. And then this is the house. And yes, it's 32 count. So I'd be doing 2 over 2 called for floss. And these stitch out to be 51 stitches wide by 51 stitches high. They're all the same size. Very fun to stitch. Those go pretty fast. And I'm sorry if I'm not showing the floss. A lot of times they're just down in here like that, so I can't really hold it up for you all pretty like some people do. I keep going back and forth on how I want to store my floss. Sometimes I want to bobbinate it, and sometimes I want to floss drop it, so I go back and forth all the time. This one is the Village of Hawthorne Hollow. And I have it in another one of my bags that I made using some Teresa Kogut out of print fabric. And this is a cork fabric over here. And then it's lined with some Kim Deal fabric. Kim Deal is one of my very favorite quilt fabric designers. I am stitching this one on 40 count Country Vanilla Mocha. Is that what it's called? Oh, it's so pretty. And I splurged on this one and bought the Vicky Clayton silks for this. And I can hold those pretty ones up, so that's where I am with that. You guys, y'all make it look so easy to hold this stuff up. It's not easy. Oh, this block in the pattern, this one says Olga's boarding house. And I changed it to Anna's boarding house because my great-grandmother, she sold her eggs, her chicken eggs, and saved up her money and bought a boarding house in Blevins, Arkansas. It turned out to be the house that my mother was born in. So I commemorated her boarding house there instead of Olga's. I'm sure Olga was a nice lady, but there's that one. Oh, man, I'm not very good at this. So sorry. Wiggling around, I'm probably making everybody sick. Oh, and then here's the flosses for this one. Oh, they're so beautiful. I did hang these on some nice acrylic floss drops. So pretty. Like I said, these are Vicky Clayton silks. All those colors. They feel as pretty as they are. Hopefully I'll get better at showing this stuff going forward. And on these closed bags, I put the reason I do these clear pockets is I'll put the copy, not the original pattern, because I've heard of some nightmare stories about vinyl sticking to the pattern, but I'll put the printed copy of the front on the outside so I can see what's in that bag. Next is Blackbird Designs. This is Anniversaries of the Heart. I'm stitching this on .40 count vintage country mocha, and I am basically just pulling the colors as I go. Some are called for, some are not. Just stitching this one from stash. When I finish it, I'm keeping track of the flosses that I used so that when I finish it I can post it with all that information. And I put some fabric on the edges so that I could get it in the Q-snap. And I've done the first three. Maybe it's the angle I have my iPad set up that's making this hard. But they're so pretty. This one's not quite finished yet. I just love that checkerboard house. This one, the windows with they were pretty close to called for. This might actually been, I don't remember, but those windows weren't showing up at all, so I decided to backstitch those. And then the H also was just kind of, even though it was contrasted, it just looked, you couldn't really tell it was an H, so I backstitched around that H as well. Well, that is Anniversaries of the Heart, and that's the one I'm working on right now. I have all 12 along with the bonus patterns. I don't know what, I haven't put any initials or anything in there yet because I haven't gotten that far into the thought of what I want, who I want to put where. This is a Teresa Kogut. This is her most recent stitch along for her Tier 4 Patreons, The Simple Life. I think I've gotten the first month done. I haven't kept up with this one. I'm stitching this on 40 count aged paper by Color and Cotton. I'm using Vicky Clayton silks, but I'm just picking the color where I want it to go as I stitch. So again, just stitching from stash. Here's where I'm at. Jeez, lady, please. I'm gonna move y'all just a tad like that. See if that makes it any easier. Okay. So cute. I love her shirt was and the bee wings were hard to find. I don't remember what I used to make them show up, but they wanted to blend in. It looked like a lady with a skirt, a head, no body. That's weird. Okay. We're getting there. This is a Blackbird Designs. It's there in the Home for the Holidays book. I'm doing those stockings. I'm stitching this on 32 count Country French Latte 2/2, and I'm using the called for flosses. I have 2 of them done so far. There's the first one. Then here's the second one. Actually, is that the... Yep, that's the second one. And I think there's 2 more to go. And then they'll be on the same fabric. Got plenty of that. You know what they say, you gotta buy all the blackbirds. And I do. I follow the rules. I'm a rule follower. Okay. This is a band sampler from iStitch. It was I think it was this a couple of years ago. It's called the Jade Sampler, but I'm stitching it in red. I'm using DMC variegated floss, the 115. So pretty, one of my favorite DMCs. I'll have to take this off the scroll so I can show y'all the whole thing. I bought this little scroll back a long time ago when I was first started stitching, and it's so pretty. hand painted on the sides, and the knobs are all hand painted. I got it at my local, my LNS, and she closed a while back, and so a lot of people ask me where to get that, and I'm like, I don't know because I don't remember the name. But these parts, I think, are just out of those that you get at Michael's. American something or another. So that's where I'm at so far. I don't know the color of this. All I know is this is 100mm wide, I believe, so that I could stitch over one. I didn't worry about where the light and darks started and stopped. I'm just stitching it, enjoying it. It's so pretty. So I'll put that one aside. This one is called Everything White, and I'm just going to show you the name because I'm not even going to try. I got this off the Silk app. Shiloh from X Stitch MD enabled me on this one a while back. Pretty sure she's finished and framed hers. I can't say that I've done that. It's a bag that I made. It's kind of a cowboyish, Christmassy. This is like an embossed faux leather. Just a brown. Well, it's kind of a mottled brown lining. This is being stitched on 32 count Lugana. Flamingo is the color by, it's opalescent by Be Stitch Me. And I'm stitching it with DMC. It's monochromatic. A DMC 819. And looks like started in 2021 because I already put the date on it. So it's like you can see the sparkle. I think it's so pretty, that sparkle thread, and using a little bit of a peachy color on top of that brighter. That's pretty accurate right there. So that is Everything White by the one I showed you. You can buy it on the Silk app. And I'm stitching it on 32 count Flamingo by Be Stitch Me, 32 count Lugana. And this is The New Normal by Long Dog Samplers. I'm stitching it on the colored, it's a 40 count Mustard by Fabric Flare, I believe. I'm using DMC 04. I've got quite a bit on that one. Very interesting. Just love how all the little critters show up. You don't realize it until you get them stitched. But in 2021, I believe, is when I started this. And that year, this color combination was Pantone's Color of the Year. So that's why I chose that color combination. I thought it was pretty. Alrighty. Just got a few more, then we'll be done. This one's called The Letter J by GGR. Doing this one for me. It's in one of my bags. This is cork again in the holographic vinyl. Okay. I'm stitching this on 40 count Bria by Needle and Flax. Her fabrics are amazing. Every time she posts on Instagram that she's got some pre-orders available, I go try to snatch some. I'm stitching this with, I got to go to the attic a couple of years ago, which is amazing. And I'm stitching this with Soie d'Azur number 2925. And I just think that floss on that Bria fabric is amazing. And then there's the Soie d'Azur. I bought a hank of that stuff. You guys, this is hard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that one. I love them all, of course. I wouldn't be working on them. But, you know, some you like better than others, and this is one of my favorites. Okay. Next. I got a couple missing, I think. Might have to pause and go round up a couple more. This is the Scarlet House, A Changed World. Becca with Sambry stitches and Shannon with the soda stitcher have a stitch along on this one. Hashtag Be the Change Sal. And I started that back then when they were doing that. I started this on January the 1st of 2022. I'm stitching it on 40 count Naturals Weigart 1/2. I have subbed a few flosses. I'll tell you which ones I know about. Here it is. Flat. I know that Blue House, I used an Anchor substitution, and then on the dark blue house I used an anchor substitution, and then this light blue I believe is also anchor, because whatever was here just did not show up. So, and then in this full coverage part of the black and the white, I'm using 310 Flosh by DMC, so you get a better coverage, and also a Flosh DMC B50, no, blank. It's the Flosh. I love the Scarlet House. That's another one of my favorites. Teresa Kogut, the Scarlet House, Plum Street, just to name a few. Haven't worked on this one in a long time. Maybe this Christmas I'll get it out and work on it. This is Christmas Rules, I believe. My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. And I'm stitching it. It's on a Be Stitch Me Lugana. I don't have the color right here handy, but it's an opalescent. Why do I get that? I'll get better, hopefully. So I think I'm doing mostly full called for. Okay, I don't know, can you see if I can get the opalescent to, it's pretty accurate on the color. There, you can see the opalescent. That's a fun one. This one's a gold collection. Dimensions gold collection. Get it out of this thing. Right. I started this one, I can't even tell you how long ago. It's been a long time. But I love Native American pictures. This is on I think it's might be 18 count Ada from the kit, and it's the kit flosses. This is probably my oldest WIP right here. Pretty much just got to do the background and his his arms. There's that one. And this is a Carolyn Manning. I don't have a picture. I'm not even sure the name of this one. Something tortoise. And this is a 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby. It's their light blue. And I'm stitching the called for colors. And next time I work on it, I'll try to have a picture of it for you. So I am going to pause real quick and go find, I think there's 2 more that I'd like to show you before I sign off. So hold please. Okay, I'm back. Looks like I don't know how to pause, so I'm gonna have to splice those 2 together. Another learning curve. You learn something new every day. This one is huge. It's in a big lap stand. I don't have the picture right now because I've got her put away somewhere safe, but I know everybody has seen her. It's the queen of the flag. So I'm pretty sure I'm stitching on the called for, and I don't want to take it all the way off. That's where I'm at. I think that's a 32 count, 2/2, all the called for stuff. She's so pretty. A real nice friend of mine is letting me borrow her chart, so I have it put away in a fireproof safe here at the house. So I'm like, I don't want anything to happen to it. Okay. Like, you have these huge bags from, I think I get them at Dick Blick Art Supply, for these bigger ones that I have on scroll frames so that I can keep them covered when I'm not on them. And that one, the zipper one to stick. And I don't have the picture for this one either. I don't have the picture for this one either, but most of the details done. His name is Three Eagles, and I'll have to put the designer in the description box because for some reason I don't have the pattern right here with the kit. But this is probably a 25 count or 28 count black Lugana, and I'm stitching with the called for DMC 1/1. Look at those eyes. And I'm not, he's got a lot of black in the background. I'm not stitching that, but I'm gotta kind of feather out with some of the black so that all the hair out here and stuff makes sense. So that's Three Eagles. And one more. I lied to you. I had 3, not 2. This one is a custom. My mother is fixing to be 90, and she's an artist. She paints watercolor and oil paint, and she painted this Roadrunner years ago, and I sent it to Meaghan at Stitching Moon Design. Sorry for the scribbling there. At Stitching Moon Designs, I sent her the image, and she charted it for me. Oh, I haven't got very far. Most of it's just, well, all of it's just background that I've done. And this is 28 count easy grid, and I'm using the DMCs that Meaghan assigned. And so that's just the top left corner. And I'm trying to come across here so I can get to his head. And knowing me, once I get there, I'll probably come down and stitch some of the fun stuff. But I don't want to leave myself just with background, so. And I can't wait to stitch his eyes and those feathers. And it'll be so neat to have something stitched that my mom actually painted. Hopefully I can have this done by, you know, while she's still here. She's healthy pretty much, but you never know. So that's my stuff. I know I probably could have done better holding stuff up, but it is my first time, so I hopefully will learn how to do that a little more eloquently, and probably didn't look at the camera enough, but I think I'll get there. And I just wanted to, I just spend so much time watching YouTube and appreciate everyone's time that they put into making these videos, and so I wanted to give back a little bit and join in on the fun, and hopefully I've given you something to enjoy and inspire you. And next time I'll probably show you a couple of my previous finishes, FFOs, and a couple of finishes. I probably won't try to do that all in one time. I'll probably spread that out over a few videos. Have no idea how frequently I will video, but probably every 2 weeks. I think every 1 week is probably a little much. My mom does live with me. I'm her caretaker, and my husband does have some health issues, so I work full-time, luckily here at home, so I can be here with them and help with their needs. And so stitching is my comfort place, so that I can leave my responsibilities for caring for them behind. And of course it's never left behind, but at least it takes it off my mind every once in a while, so that's good. But I want to thank Angela from Angela Loves to Stitch. She's the one that basically called me out on her next to last video, telling me she wanted me to do this. And then I've had a few other friends encourage me, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I was watching Laura with Latte Stitches, I believe is her Flosstube channel. And she, in her last one, she said, you know, if you're thinking about it, just get up and do it and you won't be sorry that you did. So I did, and hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's not just a hot mess. I probably won't do any editing. I just put it out there for the world, and y'all can hopefully be kind on the constructive criticism on what I can do better. So I love everybody in the stitching world. We're just all a bunch of really, really good people, and I've met so many special people through this, so hopefully I get to meet even more. So I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, stitch what you love. Bye.